Okay, in this video we're going to continue on with our cross sections and talk about annotating our cross sections. I still have the create cross section tool up. These are the settings I used. The important parts is just knowing what model I'm in, and I am in the Road 1-10. So the cross sections are out here. I went ahead and did them in the last video, so I'm going to go ahead and close this dialog and move my viewer out of the way. To annotate your cross sections, what you'll need to do is open up the Annotate cross section tool, which is in the quarter modeling tool set. About halfway down again, it's the cross section with the A on it. So we're going to open that up. Okay. Once this is opened up, there's a couple things that we need to look at. First off, the preference. Right off the bat, we want to set our preference. Right now, we have a single MoDOT preference that is affected by the annotation scale. So we're going to go ahead and pick the MoDOT offset, elevation, and slope. Load that preference, and then close it. So now all our defaults are set up for us. Again, like I was saying in the other videos, this is an important factor. Make sure you're in the right model, because it will go out and label the model that's in this pull down, whether you're in that view or not. Okay. The other thing is the surface. What are we wanting to label? And in this case, we don't want to label the existing ground. We want to do the Road 1, so we'll pick the Road 1. Okay. Everything else is okay. Now, if you had a station range that you wanted to label, you can turn that on and pick the station range that you want to go to. I'll go through a couple of the leafs over here. The points, we don't label our points, so this button's unchecked. And what that will do is go out and label in our cross-section file anywhere there's a point for our cross-section. So if there's a point that's here, it will give us a label for it. So we don't really use that, so we'll close that up. Now the features, this is going to give us our elevation and offset. So wherever we want to see an elevation and offset, we would place an element out here to do it. So under the General tab, it tells me I'm going to include all the features, and I'm going to include the ones with leader, offset, and elevation. Okay. The important part about this is if you want to see a feature, you'll have to use the Annotate leaf and come out and pick the feature that you want to annotate. So just to show you how it works is if I want to see an offset elevation of maybe the curb, I would come out and use this pick button and then pick the back of curb maybe. Maybe that's what I want to do. When I do that, it picks the point for me using this little pick button. It goes out, I pick the back of curb. It tells me it's Road 1 left, curb, surface back. Okay, so if I want to pick the other side, I could simply do the same thing. Pick a little pick button, go to the back of curb, select it, and it will go pick my Road 1 right curb surface back. So anywhere in our design file or our model, our design model or cross-section model, wherever we see these points, it's going to label for us. Maybe we want to label the sidewalk, so we can zoom into it, pick the sidewalk. So I pick the front and back of the sidewalk. I got the in and out of the sidewalk, and that's cool. Maybe I want to go down and check in my curb and gutter sections. Let's go do that. So if I come out here to curb and gutter section using my viewer, I can come in here and see. Well, let's go to the. Oh, this is curb and gutter. Sorry. Let's go to the shoulder section. What I'm looking at. So let's go down there somewhere where there's shoulders. Out here you can see if you wanted to label the outside edge of shoulder, you could do that just by simply picking it, and it will go out and find that for us. And it did right here. Road 1 left, asphalt surface, top, out, edge of shoulder, outside edge shoulder. And we can do the same on the right side. So we'll get elevation offsets in those locations throughout this whole cross-section model. Okay, and with features, that's what you'll want to do. You'll want to go out and fill this list out with all the items that you want to show elevations and offsets. When it comes to segments, we have it checked on, and it will automatically go out and pick up our slopes and our alternate slopes. So it'll pick a slope and give us a precision of 2 decimal places and a format of 50% or 2% or 4%, whatever it is, a percentage format. We can use the alternate slope if the slope exceeds 10%. Okay, so once it hits 10%, then it kicks into this alternate slope and gives us a 2 to 1 or 3 to 1 or 4 to 1, whatever that might be. Okay, and the minimum annotation width allows for, if you have ditches out there that's, smaller than the 4 foot, it won't show it. It won't put us a 0% slope out there. Okay, so if it's 4 foot and above on that flat bottom ditch, then it will throw a slope in there of 0%. And there's an easy way to clean that up as well. So, but everything's set the way I want in this tab. You don't have to worry about the frame. That deals with how it puts a frame around our annotation. We don't want that. So once you're at this point, all you simply need to do is just hit the apply button, and it's going to go out and label our cross sections. And you can see where I'm at here. It gave me my elevation offsets on the edge of shoulders, the outside edge of shoulder. It also gave you my slopes, and it gives me my 2%. So you can see it wasn't over 10%. So in here it'll give you my percentage, and then out here where it is over 10%, it went ahead and gave us our 4 to 1s. Okay, so let's go to one of those curb and gutter sections and look how we got this going. So wherever there was a back of curb, we got our elevation offset. Wherever there's a slope that needs to be called out, it placed it in there for us. And again, there's our other elevation offset. And that's the quick and dirty of placing our labeling our cross section. Now you'll see there will be some work that needs to be done to these, moving labels around a little bit, but I would wait till I'm finished with all my cross sections, all the work I need to do, and get some final cross sections out there before I would label them. And let's see, is there anything else? That pretty much covers it all in a nutshell.